Hello, welcome to the Chef Ava Marie Happy Hour podcast. I am your host, Chef Ava Marie. Before we get started, today we have a very special guest today. He is the mayor of City of South San Francisco. We are delighted to have him on stage today. Um, we can't wait to interview him, a very exclusive interview. So he's going to talk about food and what's going on with Measure A. So let's bring him on the stage. So let's welcome Eddie.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be able to join your viewership and be able to have this conversation with our community this morning. And happy Valentine's Day to everyone
You
listening.
too. Thank you so
Yes,
much. Happy Valentine's Day, Eddie. So welcome to the
absolutely.
podcast.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. Appreciate it.
So growing up in El Salvador, what was it like as a kid growing up in a immigrant family? How
I will tell you, yes, thank you for that question. Yes, to kick it off, I was born in El Salvador. I immigrated at a young age, was raised by a single mom, and came to the
oh,
United States not knowing a word of English. In fact, Spanish was my first language. So, as you can
yes,
imagine, a lot of the nuances and the newity of being in a new country
yes.
as a 7 year old, as a 6 year old was
Oh,
exciting, yet a little bit shocking and a little bit scary as a child. But
yes.
um, had my sister as well, and we both kind of supported each other going through the learning process in elementary school and second and first grade here. But
Wow.
it was exciting, I'll tell you that. I have
Good.
great fond memories of El Salvador too, and still have
Oh,
family over there as well too.
good. Did you have any culinary traditions growing up in El Salvador and in here in South San Francisco area?
Did I have what? Sorry.
Culinary
Oh,
traditions on the
culinary.
table.
Well, I'll tell you, not so much as a child, other than I had always been around a group of amazing women and female that love to cook, that
Mhm.
love to engage in Salvadorian cuisine and home recipes. That I remember just growing up, and my grandma would be our caretaker, and she would often bring about a lot of her own signature recipes. But later in life, during college, I was in the hospitality industry and was able to work as a server
Oh,
at in catering as well as bartending. So I do have my stench of experience with hospitality, and I would even consider or self-proclaim foodie because I do appreciate great service and appreciate the men and women that are in the hospitality industry. Having been there myself, I can appreciate the long, laborious days and hours and shifts, the setup, the breakdown
oh,
that it all entails as well, too. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So when moving to the U.S., what made you become interested in politics in the
Uh,
first?
Yeah, when I first moved here, I did not ever think that I was ever going to even serve in public service or in politics. As far as what that looked like is, I was always interested in presidential history, U.S. presidential history.
Yeah.
That was the extent of my experience. Never really thought that I was going to be serving one day as mayor or in a city council or
Yeah.
in a school board. My aspirations were about science, medicine, and public
Yeah.
health. I wanted to become a pediatrician one day. So
Uh-huh.
never really thought that I was going to be in public service.
Yeah. And then who was your mentor at this time in the political world locally? Because there's a lot of local people there, in, like Diego, and he's a political figure in local level. He's my dad's best friend, and he's been a mentor to my dad. They've been besties for years in the 70s, you know.
Yeah. My colleague, Vice Mayor Mark Arriego, has been a strong anchor in South San Francisco
Yeah.
politics and public service for many years. Having been before Councilmember Coleman, he was the youngest elected in South San Francisco until Councilmember Coleman was elected. He has great, rich history,
Oh,
context, and I always admire that about my colleague Mark Arriego.
yeah. Aw.
The vibrancy that he brings in the conversation, it really enriches the dialogue and the uh, the policy making that we do and experience as a council. His perspective is very unique because it gives us the historical aspect of what has already been tried and what has occurred in previous years and even decades. So I appreciate Marco Diego a lot. I will tell you that at the local level, I, again, not wanting to be a politician, I never really looked to have a political mentor. It was always about serving the community, and it was always
Yeah.
about the community individuals that I looked for strength and to provide me the support
Oh,
and aspiration of what I wanted to do.
good. But there's always the mentors for other people like Kamala Harris. Yeah, she has to have a mentor in her big years. Yeah. So, anyway, so next question. When you were appointed to City Council in 2021 at District 5, um, before becoming the mayor, and what made you do that? How did that get started?
Yeah, so 2021, if everyone remembers, we were at the height of the pandemic. We were, in fact, finishing shelter in place because really the opening came about December, November of 2020, really in the middle of the pandemic, as former councilwoman and mayor Carol Matsumoto decided not to run for reelection.
I
And
know.
remember, this was the first time that the city was moving to district elections from at-large seats. So
Yes.
council member Nogales, who was serving at large, decided to run for the District 2 seat, which was representing Westboro. So that opened up an at-large seat, and that was the appointment that I was very fortunate to receive from the current council members. I was serving as school board president, South San Francisco Unified School District Board president, when I decided to apply for the appointment. And the reason being is I knew that our school system needed the support. ARPA, which is the federal funds that were coming in from the Biden administration to support local municipalities as a result of the pandemic, were going to be shared, like I said, two cities. I knew that there were very much needed resources that not only the school district community, but our community in particular, Old Town, needed. At that time, it was an at-large seat, so I wasn't appointed for District 5 yet. But one of the reasons, I had numerous reasons, but one of the reasons why I decided to apply was representation and leadership also. It had been quite some time, almost 10 years since South San Francisco had a Latino immigrant Spanish-speaking council member, but also it was the call from the community that they really wanted representation and the resource allocation that was going to be coming, like I said, from the federal government to be able to support and create bridges, create unity, create a vision that would strengthen our communities, our families, our students, as well as our city at large.
That's fantastic. That's the way to go. So before joining the city council, also you were on the school board with Ms. mentioned. Now that has Amanda Anthony and Pat Murray there these days. That was just mentioned. What initiatives did you take doing well at the school board? My dad was the advocate for the school board putting measures in place, like the Measure W, for the one that was with the American Community Association during his time before he passed away. And he was on the planning commission for 13 years. So what was during your time there, what kind of initiatives did you guys put in place?
Yeah, thank you. One of the opportunities that I had was really to lead equity programs. As part of joining the school board, we received what is called a master's in governance.
Mhm.
That is essentially how to do good governance, how to run a meeting, how to be a collaborative colleague that works together to move priorities of the community. This is put on by the California School Boards Association, and I
Yeah.
jumped right in when I was first elected as school board member. But equity was an important piece that we
Yeah.
needed to bring about in our school district. And what that illustrates is things as having communications and our various parent communities and committees represent the makeup of the school district, having representation from parents that were monolingual, Spanish speaking monolingual,
Yeah.
as well as living in areas of town that primarily weren't being represented in our parent committees. That was something that really I strive to ensure that we got
Mhm.
the word out, whether it was about announcements, whether it was about community workshops, and really instituting a framework working with the
Yeah.
superintendent and my colleagues at that time that focused on student first, student centered, but also addressing equity as an important
Yeah.
educational equity at that time, where every
Yeah.
student deserved to receive the resources that they deserve to be able to be a successful student.
Yeah.
As well as that, being able to support other initiatives that brought about accountability in terms of our educational curriculum and making sure that our teachers were receiving the resources, our staff were highly supported, and that they were also feeling that training was occurring and being provided to them, which ultimately benefits our students and our graduation rate as well.
That's amazing. Yeah. So, and then the next question is, what can you do for locals in the city of South San Francisco during the Trump first year as his second term as president? That's the biggest question.
So the biggest question, I will tell you that there's a lot of angst, there's a lot of anticipation on what can we have seen already what has happened this
Yeah.
first month in office, but we're also thinking about what else is going to happen for the rest of the year. I was not elected in public office during the first term of the current administration.
No.
However, in this first term, I will have to tell you that we have to stand for what's right. We have to
Yeah.
stand for our values and our morals. And at the local level, to ensure and be able to articulate that
Mhm.
South San Francisco is a safe city, South San Francisco is a
It
thriving
is.
city, and South San Francisco is an inclusive, diverse, and we're working every day to be more equitable and equity focused. Those are the primary pillars, I would say, where I stand on, where I am proud to lead on. And I lean on these as a result of what I have experienced
Yeah.
in our own community. Our own community is resilient. Our own community here in South San Francisco is strong. It's a thriving community. Not only are we created and built on the shoulders of many mom and pop, or as we like to say, legacy businesses, but we are equally a business that honors middle income families as well as innovation and our ability to also be forward thinkers.
Mhm.
As we move forward this year and in the next possibly 2 3 years, we
Yeah.
need to keep always thinking what has worked for South San Francisco, and most importantly, to ensure that people are feeling safe. First and foremost, that's important for a thriving community, for a thriving neighborhoods to be able to excel in any capacity. People should not be afraid to step out of their homes,
Yeah.
should not be afraid to be waiting at a bus stop to catch a bus to go to work, should not be afraid
Yeah.
to go shop. And that is something that I want to underscore and underline, that here in South San Francisco, we welcome everyone and we are protective of the individuals that make our communities what they are.
That's right. And that's where we want to let the viewers know, Savantech County residents know that this is an important message. Regardless
Yeah.
of differences or the communities, forget about the differences. We just want to come together as a community, bread and butter. come on, yes, you know.
Yeah. And
So
I really value the differences of opinion. I think it enriches the dialogue in any setting. Diversity of thought, diversity of lived experience, diversity of communication. It all enriches the livelihood of a community. But it is to remember that at the end of the day, there are a lot of things that draw us together. There is
that's
common
right.
ground, regardless of our political affiliations, which many can
Yeah,
have, and I respect that. It's about our local work and how we are
yeah,
moving South San Francisco forward. That's the important piece that I like to highlight. And as local officials, focusing on the needs of our city and how we respond, not only to ensure that the quality of life of every resident, every visitor, everyone considering South San Francisco part of their daily lives continues to excel in many ways.
that's right. So there's been a lot of us just South San Francisco baby boomers who are 65 and over demanding seats for the senior center of Tagula. And I spoke to Margaret, who was at the your city council meeting. I watched it on YouTube, and I talked to her. She was with Coleman and three other officials at the meeting on your YouTube channel. And all she asked is for you guys to fix the heater, and and she just wants you guys to get the resources out there. So what can you do to get the resources to these lovely senior centers for lovely elderly people?
Yeah,
So what
thank
are
you.
your
I continue to value the lives of our seniors and our communities that have brought a long-standing legacy to South San Francisco. I'll
yeah
start off with that. Again, South San Francisco would not be what it is without individuals that worked, that lived, that immigrated over here, but as well that have
yeah
made this the beautiful city, the thriving city that it is.
yeah
And we owe that to our senior citizen population, our older community members in South San Francisco. It's important to address their needs. It's important to hear their feedback. It's important to hear their ideas.
yeah
In fact, becoming an age-friendly city, which is a term that has been kind of circulating around in various cities around San Mateo County, takes a lot of work. It's not just
yeah
something that you put down in paper. It takes time, it takes hours of listening, of sitting down with individuals, of breaking bread, perhaps, and understanding the dialogue and the needs, and perhaps even the apprehension to change that
yeah
there could exist in some capacity. I value the feedback, I value the ideas, I value the requests as well that I receive. um, as a council, we are looking to improve and better the services and the resources that exist. I think
okay
one of the areas that we can do that is by including them more in dialogue. I have been a strong proponent recently and in many ways advocating for creating or the creation of a seniors commission here in South San Francisco. Just like how we have a youth commission, a senior commission that could serve in an advisory body to the city council that could be
yeah
represented by various individuals living in different neighborhoods, different districts in South San Francisco,
that
that
would
we
be
can
awesome for
institutionalize
them.
and make it permanent. And this could be an open call where everyone will, apply for the role and be recognized, and it could be provided support by our city staff. I'm hoping that the council and our city staff team move on that. I would love to see it completed or started, I would say, this year. And not only because I'm mayor, but because I feel that ours, as we're
It
moving
should be, yeah, it should be
forward, this
implemented.
should be
Yeah,
something part. Yes, correct. This should be something that should stay, and who knows, maybe one day I'll serve in the senior commission too when I'm at that age too. But I think it's
and
an
I'm
opportunity
55.
to receive
Yeah,
feedback, to get feedback, to be able to hear them, and to be able to address concerns, just like the one that you mentioned. I know that staff was able to resolve that concern and what had happened. Very unfortunate, but I believe that we need to have reoccurring avenue, a mechanism to be able to hear these concerns and not only have them, expressed during regular council meetings as public comments, but be part of our dialogue, so
Yeah.
that seniors can provide ideas and share their thoughts
Yeah.
continuously as well.
Yeah, because I have my friend Cindy Alter, of a neighbor of mine. She's very involved, and she's the president of the Westminster Manor Association, and she is very in advocate for the neighborhood herself. If she if she would have joined the group, this could be for her, So can we add tonight
It could
some
be
points
for
on the
her.
list?
It could be for many others as well, and perhaps even our
Yeah,
monolingual seniors as well, which we have a lot of immigrant, Spanish-speaking, Tagalog-speaking, Mandarin-speaking seniors that I also want them to feel that this is
yeah,
South San Francisco is their home as well too. Yes,
yes. This is her home, and she lives with her son, her daughter, and then by Sweet Candy these days. Yeah, so I want her to feel so at home. Yes. Anyway, so let's move
excellent.
on to the next question. So this is a very important topic about Measure A on the ballot, to remove the sheriff, deputy sheriff, Christina Corpus. It was on the news recently. And you four voted to pass the bill for Measure A, which is on YouTube, and to help support the bill by voting yes to remove her. My question is, the baby boomers will not support it. My millennials, Gen Zs, and Gen Alphas will support it in San Mateo County. And it's in the media, and there are political differences, and San Mateo and Redwood City has joined you to pass the bill. Will Coma and Daly City be next to join you guys? There are some questions, and any clues. That's a hard topic, I know.
Yeah, I'm happy to comment on that. First of all, I will just clarify. It's not a bill, it's actually a resolution, and resolutions are usually to support a ballot measure. So there was no bill, there's no law or anything like that. It's not an
It's just
ordinance,
a
it's
election,
just
yes.
a
It's just,
resolution that was moved forward
yeah,
this past council meeting in relation to ballot measure A, which would provide the San
yes,
Mateo County Board of Supervisors authority to remove the sheriff,
yes,
or authority until 2028 on a 4/5 majority. The reason why I voted the way I did and supported the resolution was because of transparency and accountability. Transparency, accountability, and
yeah,
representation as an elected official. These are important pillars of a safe
yes,
society, of a safe
yes,
county, and of safe cities. If
yes,
we entrust our vote to elected officials, we need to ensure that accountability exists,
yeah,
not the first year, not the second year, but in this case, all 6 years.
yeah, that's
As
a
it
good
has been
one.
shown in various ways, that there's been inconsistencies with that. There's been alleged retaliation as well to some employees. And I'll tell you, as a trusted individual, elected individual spearheading a large department, such as the San Mateo County Sheriff's Department, we need to have someone that the community, that the voters, that the men and women of law enforcement trust. And I feel that trust is no longer there. And when trust is no
Yeah,
longer there, effective, successful work is unable to happen. People don't
yeah,
feel supported. Hostile works environments start getting created where people feel demoralized and the
yeah,
morale goes down. When those factors exist, it's very difficult to move forward
yeah,
with an individual and accept their leadership. So it is incumbent upon us to use our vote. This is not being a motion and being approved only by the Board of Supervisors. This is a vote and a special election in March 4th. So the voters do have a vote. Their vote is not being taken away.
no.
Vote on accountability, to vote on transparency, to vote on trust. And that is why I have supported and I'm supporting ballot measure A for the special election.
That means you're a yes. Yes, that means yes. I'm only yes too because I actually just voted. Yeah, yes. So I'm
Got
I'm with you guys.
it. Yeah, no, it's important. It's important, regardless of how it is, it's important for individuals to know that this is a democracy. There is votes, there are ballot boxes. In fact, in the back of City Hall, off of Miller, in our library, Parks and
And
Rec, we have
yeah,
another ballot box there. In our three local community colleges, there's ballot boxes there. This is accessible. These are areas where folks can turn in their ballots. So it is being held by a special election, but the resources are there. Everyone
oh
should
yeah,
have
you hear that?
received a ballot already. So it's important to stay engaged. It's important to use your vote. Yes.
Yeah, hear that, guys? You can go to the colleges, these voting places, and also
Yes,
the
City Hall
municipal.
and back of City Hall parking lot, as well as um, our library and Parks and Rec parking lot. These ballot boxes are open as well. Yes.
They will be there. Okay, just do that, South San Francisco, and also San Mateo County. Please do. That's my Bella check. She's my queen. Okay, move on to the next important question. Tomorrow, the 15th, you will be partnering with the library for a very historical event for the Black History Month at 1 p.m. for Lyrical Joy. Can you please explain the event?
Yeah, South San Francisco, like I said, it's it's a diverse city. We celebrate all our cultures, and in particular, we're very grateful and honored to be able to celebrate Black History Month in South San
Yeah,
Francisco. This is an opportunity to come to our library, Parks and Rec, and be able to watch a film, but by renowned filmmakers, as well as partake in many of the activities that the library offers. There's been book readings, book selections as
yeah,
well, and we will be also presenting or representing, I would say, our Black history, recognizing February as Black History Month. Proclamation signed by myself and all members of City Council. So just like we did, I think a month ago, celebrating Lunar New Year with our community at the Library, Parks and Rec, inviting all members of our community to come out and celebrate Black History Month tomorrow as well.
and I heard there's going to be some Jamaican grill on the second half of the hour.
Yes, yes, definitely. It will be a fun-filled afternoon for all to enjoy. Bring out the family, bring out the kid, bring out all generations are welcomed to partake in this celebration.
Yeah, definitely going to do that. I'll put that on my link for everyone, the library link.
Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes.
So we're going to do a game called the top five that we do for all the guests on the show.
Okay.
So you just have to answer them in random. So just play. So what's your favorite TV show you watch after a long day of work?
After a long day of work, I will tell you that many of my TV shows are comedy shows, and sometimes they're old school shows, TV sitcoms when I do get a chance.
Your
But
sitcom
anything
person.
in relation, right now, I've been catching up on a lot of Saturday Night Live. They're having their 50th
Oh my
anniversary
God.
on
I'm
Sunday, so I've
so,
been watching a lot of those reruns. Saturday Night Live is a is is
I
a
love
is a
Mango. I'm
boost.
so in
I'll
love
tell
with
you that it's a joy boost. Whenever you're feeling a
him.
certain type of way, you watch a clip from Saturday Night Live, and it will definitely brighten your day and bring your mood up.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Favorite place to eat in South San Francisco.
I have several. I will tell you that. I love Mexican food. I will tell you that any taqueria or place that has delicious tacos. I don't want to commit to a name, but I will tell you, I literally try to rotate and
Yes,
have
there's so many.
tacos and burritos from. I think we're very lucky, Ava, to have such delicious cuisine and the diversity of our restaurants here in South San Francisco too.
That's right. A favorite podcast you currently listen to?
Pod Save America. I've been watching some of that as the new administration has been in place. I like to take some of the different perspectives on that. So I've been listening to them for a little bit.
Cool. And a favorite hotspot?
My favorite what?
Hotspot.
Hotspot.
In
What do
the
you mean
in
by hotspot?
You mean in the coffee shop, or it's like a hot spot coffee shop?
Like a coffee shop. I love my coffee shops here in South San Francisco too. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. If I want to get some work done, or if I want to introduce someone to a new coffee shop here in South San Francisco, or if I just want to, kind of sit there and read a book. But I'll tell you again, we have great coffee shops, local coffee shops here in South San Francisco that I like to support our local businesses as well. So definitely everything and up and down. And of course, we have also great donut shops here too. So I want to plug those in as well, coffee and donuts. But I am committed to sharing the wealth, I would say, and be able to patronize each one of them when I do have a chance.
Cool. Favorite dog friendly spots. I heard there's a dog park.
Our new skate park, I will tell you, off of Spruce and El Camino Real, right near the area of our new future Safeway. We were able to do a ribbon cutting last year in that new
Wow.
park. If you haven't come and seen it yourself, or have brought your family or your dog, definitely come and check it out. It's next to Centennial Trail. It's a pump track as well, bicycle area. There's a little playground and just good old fresh green lawn. Of course, right now with the weather, it might be so green, it might be a little wet, but
Yeah.
that's my favorite area right now too.
Cool. So anyway, so it was great having you on the podcast. You were so great. You could come back at any time to bring more information. And you guys, you've got to check the vote for Measure A. Yes for Measure A, okay? But do it the
Chef
way.
Eva Marie, I definitely want to thank you for the opportunity. I think you're doing a terrific job with this podcast and be able to bring alive some of the issues that our community is wondering, and giving me an opportunity also for your viewers to get to know me a little bit. Maybe next time we do like a food tasting, or our favorite coffee and whatnot, and we can all test it out, since you're a
We'll
foodie as well as I
coffee
am.
shop, yes. Yes, we'll bring
Yes.
another guest. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Love
having
it.
me so much. I appreciate what you're doing, and I look forward to your next stream coming up.
Thank you so much. You're free to come back anytime. Thank you so much. Bye,
Thank
Eddie.
you. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
That was Eddie Flores. So hope you had a great time. So until next time, guys. So next show we're gonna have an Aloha Island from Las Vegas. So until then, I am Chef Ava Marie, Saucy to Perfection. So see you next time. Bye bye.